Yeah, that is true.
We all know from the past year that digital use is literally taking over the market, and based on statistics, I think it is now it's now literally the difference between survival and death of companies.
Yeah, talking about the COVID era right now.
So I think it is good and very useful when used in the right way.
Okay, so when is digital use considered to be addictive?
Now maybe a simple definition of misuse, basically digital misuse, would be having an impulse control disorder where one uses digital media obsessively.
How?
Obsessively would mean one, it takes up even the time that would be used to do other useful things. And one has an impulse to feel that they cannot do without it, and then it starts to mess with the person's balance. To know that if you don't check, maybe say your phone for some 2 hours, then you start feeling uneasy, and
I know
you feel like something is missing,
like it is part of you.
Yes. So one needs to strike a balance to make sure that he is not necessarily abusing the digital use, but using it profitably.
Yeah, actually, I was seeing that I was reading recently, and I found out that digital use can alter someone's brain. Like it will replace your own working. You realize that if you've been watching, if you're watching a movie and I'm reading a novel, my brain is working more than you because everything is provided to you, and me, I'm figuring out pictures. So I think, anyway, I'm not going to say that it is that harmful, but if it gets to a point where you can't live without your phone, it always has to be part of you. I think that is addiction to me.
Yes. It actually becomes an addiction when it now becomes an impulse control disorder. An impulse control disorder means you feel that it is beyond your control.
Like
to
it is
desire
controlling.
Something, like now it is the one controlling you. You feel that it has now taken over your ability to say, today no phone, or today no TV, or today no video game. When you feel that you are vulnerable without that actual thing, then you start to know that addiction is setting in, and we all know addiction is a long dark road.
Yeah. So Martin, this is the remedy. I mean, we cannot see a problem and we don't give a remedy, right? So what should happen? Like when you realize that you're using the phone like that, it is controlling you. You don't have control over your senses about the phone. Yeah. What should you do?
Now, to begin with, if we are to look at this from a balanced perspective, there are several digital areas that are mostly addictive and misused. We can talk about social media. Now that's a big one. I know that there are so many questions on that area. We shall also discuss it at length.
Yeah.
Then we can also talk about video games, computer games. We can also talk about normal media, the TVs like HTV, which should be addictive in a good way.
Yeah, this one should really be addictive in a very good way.
We can talk about there's an era for the soap operas. Those soap operas also, I think, have
keep
caused
life moving.
they have caused some issues in some families. And then also, especially for children at home, and the disruption of the ordinary culture. Because like we said earlier, digital use must be there and is there. It is something that now is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, we are on we are finding a remedy.
Yeah.
To begin with, we all have to agree that the best way is to adopt in the right way.
Yeah.
Now, to know where the issue is, we have to understand exactly what causes the addiction and where the addiction comes in. Because you see, media has a way it changes your perception.
Yeah, that is very true.
So learning how to, first of all, deal with the information that we access through media, or because largely media gives us information.
Yeah.
Now, when we get to the side of video games and maybe let's say soap operas, let me start with the video games and maybe try to explain from a perspective. Usually there is I'm not a doctor, but at least the brain
doctor.
The brain releases a certain component called dopamine. Now, dopamine has something to do with happiness.
Yeah.
It has something to do with the pleasure, the pleasure of the body and happiness. So it is that unique feeling that you get.
Like
usually,
when someone tells me I'm pretty.
Exactly. When someone gives you such a comment, there is that feeling that is natural. Really, you don't have a lot of control over it.
Yeah.
Or let's assume you were walking from home and you pick 50,000. There is that excitement that comes in. You can't explain it.
Yeah.
Also, when let's say you upload a picture on Instagram, and then you check 15 minutes later, and people are hitting your inbox and
likes are everywhere.
You feel confident and you feel it has changed something about you.
Yeah.
Now, we have to understand that is natural and that is good, and it's okay to post some nice food and some nice car at the back, even if it's yours or not yours.
Oh, not yours.
However, now we have to strike a balance that it does not lead us to live a plastic life, where we are competing with ghosts, if I may say. Now, say on the part of, say, children.
Yeah, by that, talking about children. Wait, you're a father, right?
Yes, I am.
So you as Martin, when do you think your child should start using a phone? At what age?
Now, to be honest, my son is 2 years and 4 months, and he has his EduTab. He has a tablet.
Okay.
And there is, I mean, this we're talking technology. Google has a provision called Family Link, and his tablet is linked to my phone. So literally, I see everything he's seeing. I can shut it down remotely. It's a functionality of Google. So I make sure that I am trying my best to control to the level I can. However, most importantly, me who grew up in an era where I think I first saw a tablet, I don't know, it wasn't my fault, it was my era, but who grew up in an era where we were running out and playing, making some cars out of wires, and throwing some balls around and things like that. I make sure that the time he accesses it is not during the time that replaces actual physical playtime.
Okay, what is that exact time? When does your son access the tablet? And are you always like there for adult supervision whenever he's using the phone?
Now, first of all, he cannot access it without me unlocking it from my Family Link.
Okay.
And that's a provision from Google. Number two is that that tablet is away the whole day, and he will use it, say, maybe 2 hours in the night, when I am sure that I have relative control over what he's doing. Okay. Number two is I make sure that I personally participate in his playing. Say a weekend and Saturday morning, I'll get a ball and go out with him and make sure that he is living a normal life, as contrary to waking up and then you tell him plug in the video game. Because you see, for a child learning is literally constant. And it has a lot to do with his growth. For example, if he wakes up and the first thing he's seeing is a cartoon, I have seen some children that try to talk like cartoons and the jump of chairs, imagining that they're going to roll.
Is it
yes,
bad?
It is that bad.
Okay. And let me ask you, you personally, now we're still talking about you. Have you ever felt like there is any disadvantage of your son having a tablet?
Not really.
Like
and I'll explain why.
Okay.
Like I said at the beginning, this is a digital era.
Yeah.
Whether you take long to adapt, it's up to you. But change has come, and change is inevitable.
Yeah, it is.
And so I personally think that the best way to do now is to adopt, but adapt in the right way. To adapt and adapt in the right way, and give it time. Because if you do not give time to the things that are mattering, for example, in children's lives now, they are very prone to a lot of abuse.
Okay. Seriously, thank you so much. And you're there viewing. Happy weekend, but seriously, I know most of you are parents, or maybe you're single mothers, single fathers, and you have kids there, and there is the way you're taking care of your kids. Even you have a smartphone, you're exposed to digital era, but how are you, like Martin has said, how are you taking the content you're seeing on social media? How are you taking how are you using this digital thing? Because seriously, we're going to live with it. We're not going to say bye to the era with COVID and whatever.
Theme, the bold, elegant, and innovative. Registration is under two-way, both online and at the Guild's office. Come register before 31st March.
Welcome back, my people. And if you were not with us in the first session, you missed, well, you didn't miss a lot because we are still here with you. We were talking about digital addiction. We're here with Martin Izara, and he's giving us insights. What are we supposed to do? After knowing a problem, of course, we have to first know, is it a problem? And if it is, what are we supposed to do? This is the remedy. We are here to tell you the solution. So we're talking about digital addiction and how it is affecting children. We saw what we're supposed to do, right? At least if you have a child, Izara told us how he regulates the use of a tablet with his son. What about your own child? How are they using this digital era, their devices? How are they managing it? But then a youth, and I'm interested about that a lot. Well, personally, I think kinda an addict. Izara,
Yes, please.
tell me about the youth and how they use. What do you know about the youth and how they use their digital, not only phones but their digital life?
Thank you.
Are you a youth, by the way?
Yes, I'm still considered a youth.
Okay, so how do you?
Now, for the youth, it's a very interesting topic, and I know it is going to raise some smoke, but good smoke, because we are here to discuss and give information.
Yeah.
Largely with the youth, and the youth are the biggest abusers, and the biggest digital addicts.
Yeah.
And like any other thing, it has its pros and cons. It is good to be up to date. It is good to do. I do some small businesses. I do them online. I mean, I do them particularly on social media. And without social media, I don't think I would have been able to do such things. Okay. Because we buy, we sell. It is the fastest way of passing one message across, a wide set of different categories of people. And
so, you're talking about, I'm hearing only the importance, right?
yes.
How good it is for the youth on how to use social media
Yes.
and the media. How do you think when does it become too much for them to now, for it to become addictive or bad?
Yes, now I'm going to get back to what I said earlier.
Doctor.
Not that way. Let's say you're on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, and
You're really youth. Okay.
yeah, like I said, naturally it feels good to be appreciated. It feels good to look good, to take a good picture.
Yeah.
It feels good to be relevant. It feels good to have that confidence and boost in your perception of yourself based on maybe people's comments and likes.
Yeah.
Like I said, however, we have to be very conscious, because say like you upload a good picture and people are giving likes, and your brain starts to associate that with pleasure, and then you start to feel that that is where your source of being appreciated is.
I know.
You start to realize that if you post a picture and only 10 people give likes. Then you review the picture, you check, was this picture okay? Was the lighting okay? Did I need to edit more? Because maybe on the previous picture you got a reasonable amount of likes. Now, it becomes a problem when it starts to mess with your self-balance, with the perception of you.
You start proving yourself to the people instead of yourself.
Now, I'll use this example. We have to understand that what is posted, say, on social media by most people are carefully selected moments of their life. People will select that one moment they have found a nice G-Wagon parked in a compound.
They show us what they want us to see.
Yes, that is what you see. Then, the car is his, he'll take a picture there. He will still look for some nice food, and maybe when he's at Pizza Hut or Food Mart or Java's, and it is okay. Now, the issue is, if I start to perceive, let's say you were my classmate at A level, and you take a picture with a G-Wagon, and I still drive my 1994 Toyota Corolla, and I start to perceive myself as if I am not doing well enough, and when it starts to mess with my self-confidence, let's take it to ladies. Now, there's a perception that beauty is a certain thing. Let's say figure 8 or some. I look like this.
Yeah.
Now,
ass.
When you take one picture and it's okay and people appreciate, and then you turn a little bit more, you get more likes. And then you turn a little bit more and you get more likes, and then it can move from there to unnecessary obscenity.
Yeah.
You wonder how at the end of the day nudes come up. Someone feels not appreciated and wants to show a little bit more, because they start to feel that is what people appreciate about them. And then it has messed with your self-balance.
Yeah.
Originally, if let's say you were born in 95, you probably saw a smartphone in 2006. Before that, it was okay. You were okay.
Yeah,
you felt beautiful because maybe your parents loved you and told you that.
You were
but now, because you have seen some socialite, now you are using her as the EG. If I do not look like this, then I am not.
To be like
then
her.
It now starts to mess with your self-esteem. Then you can end up doing things to be appreciated that would ordinarily have not been done by you. So now we have to strike a balance to understand that those people posting Food Mart equally have problems, and probably may have more problems than you. Now, how we perceive information at the end of the day can help us understand not to abuse media. It can help us remain balanced people even after seeing some pictures of my classmates, and it may not mess with my self-esteem if I understand that those are the parts of their life they want me to see.
Yeah,
so I think that how you perceive the information, but also how you mature to understand that at the end of the day, this is social media.
Yeah.
You cannot post a nice picture unless you are working as I know there are people that are on promotion and they are representing companies.
Ambassadors.
Yes, brand ambassadors. It is okay. But posting nice lunch doesn't give you an extra plate.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah, that is
posting your friends
but
pizza,
then
you
if
may
I
not
have,
eat all
if
of
I
it.
spend the whole day on an empty stomach and I see you posting that, I'm obviously going to feel bad. Like you have it all and I'm starving.
And yes, that's why I said learn to use the information. Number 2 is understand to remain with control over yourself. Because remember when we are defining, we said it's an impulse control disorder. An impulse control disorder means, for example, if you smoke cigarettes, if you've ever seen someone who is addicted, when it is time to smoke, they could jump out of a moving car. At whatever speed, they would just say, just open the door, me, I'll sort myself. Then after he has smoked, then he becomes balanced. Now that's the impulse control disorder I was talking about. And so social media, if it turns into an impulse control disorder, where you're in an exam, and instead of thinking about how you'll do the last number, you want to know whether John replied your message.
Oh my God, yeah.
Now it starts to mess with you, the person. So you have to understand that at the end of the day, life remains life.
Yeah, actually, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. I was asking her an opinion, and she told me how she once got depressed. You know, this lockdown, you go home, you have nothing to do, you're not earning in any way, and there is a friend of yours, a close friend actually, who is posting pics. She's going out all the time, she's getting new attires, and you feel like, okay, your life is done and she is on top, and you're following all the time. You can't even go away. You want to see tomorrow, what is she wearing tomorrow? And then it makes you lose self-esteem.
Yes.
It causes depression. You feel like other people's lives are better than yours. Yeah. So what happens after that?
Yeah, like you said, we are on the remedy, right?
Yeah.
So we are providing solutions.
Yeah.
For me, the first thing is mature and learn how to perceive information.
Mm.
Learn how to perceive information.
Yeah.
You see, in life, we all can't be the same. And first of all, I want us to get it right. It is not a bad thing.
It is
Please,
not.
if you're smart in a suit and it's dapper and it's from Abrams, please post the picture.
Mm.
If you have worked hard and bought a nice, please post the picture. It is fine.
Mm.
Now, you, the viewer,
Mm.
learn how to perceive that information. Do not let that information get to your heart, because yes, essential workers during COVID were posting videos of a road moving, and for us that was very big. Because for us, we couldn't drive our cars. For them, they were posting on the highway when they are alone. And at that point, that looked very big, like you are very important.
Mm.
But now we are all driving.
Like,
Now,
no big deal.
it's no big deal.
Yeah,
Now,
that
if
is
you had,
true.
if you based on that information to feel bad at that point, you would have wasted time. Now is when you realize at the end of the day, things go back to normal.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, please understand that the people posting these things are normal people. They equally have problems, or even probably have bigger problems than you.
Yeah.
You have to know that, yes, that's their time, be happy for them. When your time is there, you'll have your equal share of go.
Mm.
However, also, there are things we can do by ourselves. For example, you have the right to limit usage of your phone. Some people
Yeah.
think it is not possible to switch off a phone overnight.
Yeah.
Like, take control, switch off that phone.
Mm.
You don't have to watch that soap that day. Like, it's not life and death.
We're talking about soaps here, Martin.
It's not life and death. You could actually wait for the whole soap to end, then you
Right.
get the series and watch it in one day.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, just perceive the information that this is just social media. And since I understand the impact it can have on me, I must make an effort to control it. It's the same as any other addiction. Let it be weed, let it be alcohol. The exposure you give yourself to it can take you a long road down there. There are people that will drink wine once on Friday. Then there are people that will reach a level where they cannot spend 2 days without drinking. Same thing, exposure. Just limit yourself. Get a time and say, today afternoon I am reading. Switch off the phone, go and read your books. You will come back when you are alive. None of your fingers will fall off. Just understanding that this is possible and that you have a part to play can help you avoid this digital addiction. And then engaging in the normal activities that were there before the addiction. Go swimming and leave your phone in the bag and swim.
You can do that.
Yeah.
No, come on. Okay, now I'm very sure you're watching, but you're disagreeing with this man. There's
Yeah.
no one going to pay my money. Come to the swimming pool.
You've
and
paid
not
that
take-
triangle.
Yeah.
And not
And
take a picture.
Not take a picture.
It is possible.
With
Make
my
these
good
things
swimming
normal.
costume. Oh my God.
Make
no.
these things normal. Make these things
Okay.
normal to you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you are used to having sausages for breakfast, trust me, you will not post it every day.
Yeah.
So you posting
The
it,
excitement
posting
of a
it
new
usually
thing.
means it's once in a while, and it is fine. It is very fine. Get the opportunity, post a picture. However, grow into a level where you feel that it is okay for you to visit Food Mart and not take a picture of the table mat of Food Mart to tell the world you are at Food Mart. Now, like I said, self-esteem. Social media has something that it does to your self-esteem if you're not careful.
You get depressed.
It makes you feel like everyone else is very far from you. It makes you feel like if I don't do this trend, then I'm not alive. Do it. Yes. But also understand that you cannot do it. It is okay
Yeah.
to eat whole chicken and not post it.
Yeah, sometimes.
Now, understanding that your self-esteem does not depend on what people think or see is one thing that will help you avoid addiction. I keep talking about self-esteem because the biggest issue with youth is trends. Trends are not bad. Put on that nice watch. Do those nice things.
If you
However,
can.
if you can,
Yeah.
do not be on pressure to live maybe Brian's life or some other person's life. It's okay, let him buy a car. You will also buy a car at some point. Don't be on pressure to compete with people because of the selected moments of their life. If you see Sandra post a dress, say Gucci, and you know the dress is 400,000, that is Sandra's dress. Let Sandra put on her dress.
As long
Do
as
not
I
be
can look
on
smart
pressure.
in my 1K dress.
Perfect. Do not be on pressure to look for that dress, because that kind of pressure messes with your self-esteem. And then you find now you're probably looking for a man to buy you a dress. You're not looking at the man as a whole, you're just waiting for the dress.
Yeah,
So that is something that you need to strike a balance with your life. Now, don't let social media get to your head. Understand that these are carefully selected moments people want you to see. Understand that some other friends of yours bought the dress and did not post it. And life moved on.
Yeah, that is very true. Seriously. I think Martin has a point. At some point, I've also been affected by social media, by the way, at some point. But I know if you are watching something, how do you perceive the information you're receiving? Because people want us to see what they show us. What they show us is what they want us to see. And maybe they're not even having that good life, or maybe they're having their good life, but you have your own life. Like, social media is not the lead. It is not a class that you're going there to learn something from there. And whatever you learn from, even if you go to class, whatever you learn, you select a few that you can manage. Don't kill yourself just because I'm posting my beautiful ring and you can't manage. Please. And thank you so much. You have been with us, and we are going in a very, very short break, and we are going to come back talking about how this digital addiction affects parents and relationships. Please don't go away.
Twenty-first century, essentially why you cannot avoid electronics. Are you looking for computers, laptops, or accessories? Do you want a website or develop any software?
Then you need PAL Technologies.
Yes, this is PAL Technologies Uganda Limited, and we deal in all kinds of electronics and general merchandise. When you talk about electronics, that is computers, phone accessories, and computer accessories as well. Then also do repair. We repair phones, we also repair computers. Then to our dear clients or our customers, there are some things we give offers. For example, if you buy a modem, we give you 1 GB free of data, valid for 1 month. Then if you buy a laptop, for the first month we can do servicing for free. We do wholesale for most especially phone accessories like the USBs at a good and affordable price. We are located at the Fresco Supermarket, former Nakumat, ground floor, room 0 number 9. You can call us on our phone numbers. MTN is 0777 525820. Airtel it is 070 3384 540.
Welcome back, and this is the third session of today's episode. Please get another cup of tea. This thing is still getting hot. And if you just joined us, we're talking about digital addiction. This is the remedy. We're giving solutions. After finding out that this is a problem, what are we going to do about it? And that is why we have Martin Izara on the show today, and he's still telling us. So Martin, I'm still with you. Let me hope you still feel fine. Yeah, so we're talking about how digital addiction is affecting the youth, social media mostly, but these youth come from families. Let's dig into families and see how does digital addiction affect families in a whole, the parents, the children, how they are relating with this digital era. Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, thank you very much again. And this is it's an interesting question, because you see the nature of technology is that it evolves. it evolves, because at some point internet came, and yes, it was very interesting that somebody could send an email and another one receives it. And then Facebook came, and I remember sometime back in around 2000, I think 7 and 8, when I was just joining Facebook. I was still in high school, and we were very few.
And you were excited.
I was very excited, and one of my friends was Gorora Moses, and he didn't know me, I didn't know him, but because we all had very few
Gorora
friends,
Moses, the fight.
kickboxer.
You're
Because we all had few
celebrity.
friends, and he would reply your message, and then things moved on, and then WhatsApp came in, and you can see how things changed now, because even if you try to follow Gorora Moses, his fan page is full.
Yeah.
So it shows that things have been evolving. WhatsApp came in and everything changed. Text messages
Became worse, yeah.
left.
And
Now
calls,
instant,
and phone
yes,
calls.
and calls went, and then now it was instant messaging. Now after instant messaging, now the thing that I think the current thing is some live call and video call, and those are things that were previously not there, and that implies that in the next 2 or 3
But
years
they are good, right?
they are good, they are fine,
Yeah.
depending on how you use them. That means that in the next 3, 4, 5 years there will be a new set of challenges, because there will be something different. So just first of all, to be clear, is that we are all students in this class of learning how to use technology and digital media. We are all students and we're all evolving. We have to evolve with the times. Now let's get to the family.
Yeah.
I personally think that it's everyone's role, starting from parents to children, to participate in how to control digital media. If you are parents, be concerned about your children's access to media.
I know, but Martin, let me tell you. Me personally, I go home and I have to, I find myself on the laptop almost every time.
Yes.
I'm actually not so addicted to my phone, but I'm always using my laptop. And my mom is affected. Well, she tells me, she'll come and tell me, but you don't give me attention like you used to. I don't like your laptop anymore. But, well, I feel guilty. I want to go and talk to her, but then I have to watch this song. I have to watch this series.
Now, like this is the remedy, right?
Yeah.
Earlier on we said, please understand that you're in charge.
Yeah.
If you go home to see your mother, please see your mother. It's possible. Leave that laptop. The laptop is not going to get insomnia. It's not going to miss you. And, that same laptop could be stolen on the taxi and you will not die. You may cry a bit, but you will not die.
Yeah.
Understanding the perception of life, and that these are just earthly things. I mean, it's a phone.
Yeah.
It's social media. You're here for how long? I don't think any one of us is here for 160 years.
I might. I'm Chiga, we are immortal.
I agree with you. So because you have learned about social media and about its impact and about dopamine and about the fact that it can get to you just like a cigarette can get to you, start to control yourself.
Yeah.
Just tell yourself, you know what, let me switch off the phone and sleep. Let me take a rest. Let me do
talk
some
to
work.
my mom.
Today let me post my business. It is today let me post my business. We see whether someone buys it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that your status is reserved for only pictures taken at a certain angle. You know, everyone has that angle where they look good. They put up the phone like this, and every picture is showing the right part of the forehead. It's okay once in a while.
Yeah.
Just post something business-wise, post something else. So you have to know that you are in charge, and it is possible to actually. Now, to the parents, be concerned about your children. I know that it is very hard that you can check every of your children's phones, but where you cannot check, just person relevant information.
Well, I know some people think, some people might be addicted or it is affecting their families and they don't know if it is. When is it bad for the family? Like, how is digital use, let me not say addiction, digital use bad to the family?
Now,
to
when
the whole family, I'm talking about the kids and then the parents, how they relate to their kids and how they relate to each other.
When you visit a family where you reach there, the housemaid is in the kitchen cooking, the mother is on the phone talking to someone, the father is on the laptop, One of the boys is on a video game, and then the girl is making up to take Instagram photos.
Yeah.
And then at supper time, usually the youngest child is the one they send. The child does one route of calling. Dad shows up, mom shows up, then sends the child, "Go, you go and call your sisters again." Then she has to first rub off the makeup, then come later, and then they say, "Hey, where is Duncan?" "Hey, Duncan is still on his room in the video game." And then they call him. And then all he's thinking about is, how do I pass the next level?
Yeah.
And then you realize that is the routine. And then the family touch is lost.
How?
Because you're not talking, you're not eating, you're not praying together. Everyone is so lost in a very small world they have created on a digital platform. You see, what social media does is it gives you a small other life, if I may say. It gives you a small world. You have your friends all close by, in that you don't have to be at a house party to attend the house party.
Yeah.
You can be on a live stream and attend the house party.
And what if I do?
Yeah.
What if we do all that you said, and at dinner time we're keeping our phones and talking to each other?
Then you're heading in the right direction, because like we said, it is not bad. However, regulate it. Yes, attend that party, but have family time. When dad comes home, go and greet the guy. Go and greet him, welcome him, do something, talk to him.
Yeah, we are
Then
talking
go back to
about
house.
dad, and I'm thinking about parents. No, I have friends who are parents, but you come home, you're tired, you're from working, and the best, okay, you love your kids, but then you don't want them to be around you all the time. So you resort to giving them those tablets. You put TV, or sometimes you give them like your own phone. It is
So that
online,
so
and
that
they're accessing things you give them a certain video, but they might end up accessing things you don't know. A friend of mine recently told me she has a kid. She's a single mom, and she has a kid of 2.5, I think. She told the mom, "I want to send a message to my boyfriend." And the girl asked her, "Who is your boyfriend?" "He's Deterio. I saw him on YouTube, and we are friends." You see, that connection she got with someone she saw on YouTube. They didn't even talk. Or maybe she liked. So, okay, she's living a virtual life. And she already feels it is okay. What can you do? What would you tell such a child?
Good. Make sure you help them understand.
That. Okay, in that real time, what would you do?
Yes.
for
Make
you?
them understand the reality and concept of life. Because like I said, unfortunately, if without that information, even you, an adult, is susceptible to such mistakes. You start to perceive that everyone that sends you a message has good intentions for you, because you have not understand that this is social media. That's why we were explaining earlier and saying this is just a virtual platform. Everyone has their life, and at the end of the day, you are still normal. You're still going to live a normal life.
How are you going to tell all that information to a kid of 2.5?
Make sure you start them young to understand some of these things. Number 2 is like I said, we are talking technology. This is a technology TV, right? There are several options on how you can control content on a phone. Because even if I'm giving my phone to my son, I just go to that family link. It's on Google, free app. Go to family link and then sign in my son. And from then on, what he accesses is what I have allowed him to access. So we are talking
Doesn't
technology.
bring recommendations.
It cannot, even if he tried to switch off the phone, it wouldn't switch off. And that's something that can go in any Google powered phone. And I'm sure everyone almost has a smartphone, those who can afford it. So 1, try to take time to enforce those links, but 2 is share with them. Let these children grow up as they know this is simply social media. Let them know the reality that this is media, that everyone that sends you a message does not necessarily wish you good. Do you know a person? Avoid chatting with strangers, because I mean, what are you going to benefit from a stranger?
Business.
If it is business, then at the end of the day, if you use, for example, GJ as a platform, they tell you not to send any advance or deposit. You have to physically see the item before, because they also know that it is susceptible to such things.
Okay. Now let us talk about you're married.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. The relationship, how it affects this digital addiction, digital use.
Yes.
How it affects the relationship between the parents. That I'm looking at the dad and the mom.
Yes.
Yeah, because that relationship actually affects kids a lot.
Yes, it does.
if you're not working together, then there is no way you're going to deal with your kids, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so tell me.
First of all, there's no one formula. It's not a guarantee that if it works for you, it works for me. However, there is a basic minimum, a bare minimum. Set standards, communicate the standards.
Like?
For example, if I come from work, first give me time, you get, let's talk, let's, Number two, say no using phones in the bed, for example.
Okay.
Those are random rules that apply differently to different people. Don't ask me what I use. Everyone has a unique everyone has a unique way in which their relation, because supposing you met on social media, a person will ask you, now we met here, why are you refusing?
I know.
Yeah, but set rules.
But we already met, so why would I go back?
Set rules that work for you. Number two is build trust that does not require you to be nosy, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Give the person their space. You don't have to be nosy. Build trust. An adult has made a decision, they love you. You have
They've chosen
they have chosen you. They have met many but chosen you. Give them their respect. Let them have their phone, let them have their accounts, let them live their life. And build confidence in each other. Build confidence in each other. And set rules that work for you. Some people like to communicate. They like to start things early. At 6 o'clock you send a message, I can see you, and then they have their thing they do on WhatsApp, and we may not know where it ends up, but maybe that's how they do their thing. So you cannot per se say it is bad, because sometimes first come to the bedroom for a second, the children are not here, may it mean much more than going there physically to call. So everyone has how they do their thing. The only point is that you have now obtained information on how bad it can be and how good it can be. Agree as a couple on how to use it in the best way to profit you and your family. And let it not replace the natural things. Natural things like talking, like taking a walk without the phone, like sitting down and discussing actual matters on how things are going.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
Welcome.
So I think you have you have a family, and maybe things are not going on well, because all the time your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend is always on phone. Talk, communicate, tell her it doesn't make you comfortable, or maybe you're always exposing your life and your husband or your boyfriend is not happy with it. As if he has complained, at least guys are not going to complain a lot. He's going to leave you and to let you think about it, right? Yeah, so you as a woman, I know for us girls, we just like being appreciated, and that takes us to social media. We want to post pics all the time, want to post our booze, our boyfriends, and maybe he's not comfortable with it. Don't think he doesn't love you or not. Just communicate, set your own rules, as Izara has told us, and the family will thrive. So I hope you're enjoying the weekend with us. You have been on The Remedy, and we're here at Homeliness. The place is comfortable, I'm telling you. You can get your own room, you get a meal, you can bring your function. This is the best place to spend a weekend and a weekday. So you've been on ATV. Thank you so much for being with us. Izara, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
You have been helpful. You have given us a remedy. You want to talk to me face to face? You want to come live on TV and tell people your problem and get opinions? Or you want to be part of us? Please put your opinions in the comment section below and be part of us. Thank you so much for watching. It was Henry Javas behind